Amen.
Thank you. Please stand with me as we pledge allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Board of Adjustments is a 9-member board. We're appointed by the City Council, and we serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is I will call the name of the petitioner. If you will, please come to the podium, speak loudly and clearly into the mic, present your request, and be prepared to answer any questions that any board member might have. Once we receive public testimony on a particular item, the members of the board will deliberate and we will render our decision tonight. I'll remind the members with a personal or financial interest in any request, you're required to recuse yourself from voting. Any testimony that is submitted by the petitioner or on behalf of the petitioner during the presentation of the agenda item will be binding as to any decision the board makes relative to the motion. I'll remind the board members that if you make a motion to deny an item, a reason must be given. This time I'll introduce the members that are here tonight: Mr. George Howell, Mr. Quentin Burke, Mr. Pickett Reese, Mr. Bo Holmes, Mr. Blake Markham, and I'm John Stanley, your chairman. Our land use staff is Mr. Warren Adams and Ms. Andrea Spriggs. Andrea is our recording secretary, so speak loudly and clearly into the mic. Any questions? We have 6 members here tonight. It takes 5 members to approve a motion. So if you feel as though that might hinder the outcome of your request, you can delay your item to the next meeting. Okay? Been asked to take one item out of order. First of all, let me say this. I forgot to say, item number 2 has been delayed. It's an item presented relative to 1323 East Boulevard for a height variance for ID sign presented by Bill Wilson. It's been delayed. We're going to take item number 9 out of order and first, presented by Kelly Lee, Administrator for the estate of R.D. Wright, requesting a special exception for an auto salvage yard to be located at the north end of Reese Ferry Road in an M3 zoning district.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Russ Russell. I'm representing Kelly in this matter.
Okay.
But as you know, we're here to we're requesting a variance for the current M3 zoning. That's the area it's zoned M3 right now. And it's really kind of in the middle of a bunch of other salvage yards. Kelly is the court-appointed administrator for the estate of R.D. Wright, who was the former owner of this property. Unbeknownst to her, when she got this job, he had already gotten on the initial salvage yard, when you roll it up, I'll point it out.
It's the one existing salvage, existing approved salvage yard, right?
He did, and what happened was Kelly did not know that in 1987 he had received a letter from the Planning Commission that said, look, we've granted your variance, but one of the requirements that we have is for you to screen it off from Birmingham Highway. Unbeknownst to her, when she was appointed by the court as the administrator of Mr. Wright's estate, he had never done this. So the first action she took was to immediately get the initial salvage yard screened off. At the same time, we figured out that he was kind of expanding the salvage yard. There it is. The existing approved salvage yard is the one that has been there since 1987. And so once Kelly got appointed, she screened everything that faces Birmingham Highway. So it goes down Birmingham Highway and back up on the right side. The second part is what we're here today about, is the proposed expansion of the salvage yard, which is the piece of property in the back that fronts on Reese Ferry Road. And because she knew that she was going to submit this application, she went ahead and screened off that particular piece of property everything that faces Reese Ferry Road and then runs up that lot all the way to that back piece. So just in anticipating of making this variance request, we thought that y'all would probably require us to go ahead and screen it, so she went ahead and fenced it and screened it before then. So all that has been completed at this point.
Have there been any recent complaints about any of the salvage yard or any nuisances created by the salvage yard?
No,
Have not? Okay.
none that's been brought to my attention.
Okay. Access from to the salvage yard is from Birmingham Highway and then down Reese Ferry Road, correct? Okay. Any questions, board members? Does anyone in the audience care to address this item? Any further discussion? Excuse me? Does anyone here care to ask any questions about this particular item? If you do, come forward. If you have any concerns you want to address the board, are you okay with it? You're going to need to come up to the podium, sir. You'll need to identify yourself and tell us what your connection with this is.
Anyway, I Amos Sunday, and I own a salvage yard on Reese Ferry Road. I bought a property, it was salvage yard before I got a place. And I saw the sign there, they said public hearing. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure I understand your question. We're dealing with this property that is owned by the estate that Ms. Lee is representing. Do you have any concerns about this particular request?
My name is Tim Flowers.
You're going to have to speak.
Pull that mic up.
You got to pull it up.
There you go.
The acoustics in here are terrible.
My name is Tim Flowers. I'm here with this gentleman here. There's a barrier between the language barrier for him and everybody else.
Okay.
The property that you're speaking of, he's not sure, is this his property or not? Is this the property that you all discussing?
Yeah, Russ explained that to him.
Okay, that's it. That was our concern. He wasn't for sure.
So we're good?
So his property is not up for discussion here then?
No.
Okay, so we can leave.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm glad we helped you clear that up. Okay, any further discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we grant the special exception as presented.
Have a motion to approve. Have a second?
Second.
Second. Motion from Mr. Reese, second from Mr. Holmes. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank y'all. All right, we're back to item number 1, presented by Mr. Garrick Oliver, representing the Ranch ATV Park, requesting a special exception for a commercial recreational facility to be located at 4785 Velma Circle in a flood hazard zoning district. Mr. Oliver, you and your
City Council
group were here last time. There was opposition from the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You left here with the intent for y'all to get together and work it out.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak to that, okay? And then, after you finished, I'll ask if anyone in the neighborhood or the councilwoman who was here before, if they want to speak to it, okay?
Okay.
And so we don't need to rehash what we talked about last time. but I think you understood the concerns. And
Yes, sir.
we've got to know what you feel like the resolution is, and then I'll give the opposition an opportunity to talk, okay? So please speak clearly and loudly into the mic.
Okay, the resolution that I came up with that is when I do a big event, I will use the back road, not Velma Circle, the road that's coming in. That way it keep down the traffic.
Not Velma Circle.
Not Velma Circle. I put a security guard at Velma Circle to keep my people from coming down that way. So it won't interrupt them, it won't interfere with nothing they got going on. And the second one was the noise. I would not have a noise competition, never again. That's out of the question. That was a big issue. And the time. I will consider it closing down, shutting the music off at 10 o'clock
10 o'clock a.m. or 10 o'clock p.m.?
at night.
10 o'clock p.m.
Yes, sir.
What time you start?
Probably about 9 or 10. It's no big
Do
time
what
to
now?
start. Probably about, I say we'll open the gates about 10 o'clock
Wait a minute.
a.m.
Start at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.?
We're gonna start at 10 and I'll shut it
10
down.
a.m.
Yes, sir.
All right, you got to differentiate between a.m. and p.m. here, okay? Because I know a lot of what you do is at night.
A.m. then, yes, sir.
All right, so
It
you
goes
start
to-
at 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
and go to no later
I'm gonna
than
shut
what?
the music off at 10 p.m. because that was a big issue.
Start at 10 a.m. and complete by 10 p.m.
He's not playing the music though the
So
whole time.
I'm gonna cut the music off at 10.
All right, but what about the races and all that?
Yeah, we're gonna get ready to start shutting it down around that time.
Okay.
But the noise is a big issue, and I understand, everybody gotta get their sleep. So, yeah, I'm willing to cut the music off at 10.
All right.
Then
What
I
day,
used to
how
take-
many days a week? What are the days of operation?
I ride pretty much every other day, just me and probably about a couple more guys, but I host the event for big rides probably once, maybe twice a month.
We got to know the days of the week that you're going to be open. Or do you have that?
I don't have no specific days. Like, for instance, right now, I got guys from CSX, the railroad yard, they down there riding. There's about 4 of them. It's not a big crowd, but when I have a big crowd, like 50 or more, it'll be only on Saturdays or Sundays.
But it could be 7 days a week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because I ride pretty much every day. And a couple of my friends will come out and ride.
But no sooner than 10 a.m. and no later than 10 p.m.
Yes, sir.
But it could be 7 days a week,
Yes, sir.
okay? Is this for ATV use only?
Sir?
Is this for all ATV use only, or you got cars and trucks or what?
No, we don't do cars and trucks. We do ATV and probably horses or something.
And what?
Maybe horses, a horse ride or something.
Oh,
Something to bring the animal.
ATV,
Yeah,
okay, ATVs only and
Or
horses.
yeah.
Okay.
No car shows.
No cars, no trucks.
No, none of that. I mean, they come, but I don't have no competition.
They're not racing,
No, sir.
okay? Tell us about exterior lighting.
I rent 4 generators every time I have a function, and we got them throughout the park. Plus, I got some lights from Alabama Power that's over the main entrance.
You keep the
And
lights shined away from the adjacent residential neighborhoods.
I'm at the dead end, so I'm away from everybody. I'm like, my house is 100 feet, 100 yards from the main gate.
Yeah. Well, lights can carry a long way, but I'm just suggesting,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
saying,
We-
lights will not shine towards a residential neighborhood.
No, because my place
Right,
is
yes or
surrounded
no?
by, no, sir, mine
Okay.
is surrounded by big trees and stuff. So
Okay.
it won't go through the trees and the bushes.
Yeah. Well, somebody could cut the trees down. Okay.
But they be cutting on my property.
I understand, but we've dealt with lights before, so that goes. Okay, is anything else you want to tell us before I ask if anybody else wants to talk?
Yeah, I wanted this young man to come up. I took the opportunity to teach him this weekend on the ride four-wheelers and the importance of four-wheelers because we have a death Sunday with kids riding on the highway. I wanted him to come up and explain what and how important it is for me to have this part. Right.
Okay, all right. We've got a, yeah, go ahead. All
Hi,
right,
how are y'all doing? I'm Jackson.
and your name?
Jackson Shuford.
Jackson?
Shuford.
Okay, all right, Jackson. Glad to have you here.
Hi, I'm Jackson Shuford. I'm 17 years old and I attend Park Crossing High School, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of the ranch. Every time I've gone to visit and experience the ranch, I've always left with a piece of valuable information. If it's not pertaining to information on nature and safety precaution, then it's learning life lessons and skills. Me and my friends look upon the ranch as an opportunity to learn, have fun, as well as having the reassuring feeling of being safe. Being at the ranch gives a safe haven feeling, knowing that every time you go, you'll have a smile on your face from the time you get there until you leave. Before we go along the trails, Mr. Oliver always reassures that all equipment is properly functioning, as well as precautious tools being packed. Throughout following the trails, he guides us on different variations of plants, different species of animals, and explains how the creek tides differ in depth due after rainfall. The previous time I visited the ranch, my mom had the opportunity to ride with me, which I can tell you there was nothing but smiles. We were absolutely covered in mud from head to toe, but it was one of the best experiences that I've ever participated in. I believe that the ranch has a positive impact on society and is a safe haven for many. Thank you for sharing your time with me.
Yeah, good job. I do have a question. Our agenda here says for all events, there are 2 MPD off-duty officers that work security. Is that correct?
I have 5 to 10 personal security I hire, plus 2 sheriff. Yes, sir.
2 off-duty
Yeah.
MPD officers or
Most
sheriffs?
of the time it's sheriff, because
Sheriff.
the sheriff got a company.
Yeah, okay.
Eastwood.
And this also said the facility will close no later than 12 a.m., but you just said 10 p.m.
Yes, I meant 12, I mean 10.
Huh?
No, I meant 10.
Yeah, okay. But the agenda says 12 a.m.
No, my old time was 12.
I'm clarifying it,
No.
okay? This is a big deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I used to be open till 12 with the noise playing and
Yeah.
everything, but
Yeah.
Essentially, what you're saying, he's just turning off the music at
That's
10.
what he was saying.
Right? I mean, you'd still be open till 12, right?
yeah, I'm gonna get out of there no later than 12, but I'm shutting the music down at 10.
Not if you want me to vote for it, you're not.
I can't hear you.
Not if you want me to vote for it, you're not.
Not what?
Not if you want me to vote for it, you're not. It's gonna have to be 10 o'clock and they should getting out of there. We're not gonna be there till 12 o'clock.
Okay, I'm shutting it, okay.
That's what I tried to clarify with you a moment ago. I want to make sure. Okay? Any other questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, are you with him? I've called for anyone else that have some opposition. Yes, sir, you can. Let's let them speak, and I'll give you that opportunity. The petitioner will be given the opportunity to give closing remarks, okay? Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Teresa Brooks, and I live on Velma Circle. I apologize, I'm a little hoarse. So just a couple of things. Mr. Oliver, when we were here before, mentioned that he was doing things potentially and mostly for our youth. So later on, I think after we left last time, I was just scrolling through Montgomery Uncut, and flyers popped up. And I think we provided those with you. So there's a real concern for me for safety. We were to meet on this past Saturday, I think at 11 o'clock, Councilwoman Riley and I forget the officer's name, Officer Stewart, we were there, and Mr. Oliver, I think he came around 11:20. We were supposed to be there at 11, so we had already left. So we sort of just surveyed the property, and I was told I couldn't take pictures that I had already, so I did delete those, so I don't have anything. But just to give you a visual, there was a pod of debris, and on the flyer, I think we presented to you guys. One real thing for me, there's if you're doing a bonfire and it's in a community, there's not I guess a water system if something gets out of control. And we are, maybe our property backs up to Mr. To Gary's property, let me just call it Gary. And so that's a concern. The noise is a concern. I hear that he's going to leave at 10. Here's the thing for us. Let's say if I want to have a baby shower or anything in my house, the music is in my house, I can hear it. But the real thing for us is that from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., that's a long time to have to endure that in our neighborhood. And the last thing I want to point out is that when we call MPD, when there is an allowed or issue, we always are we're told rather, well, that's commercial property, it's a paid venue. And so the way we've been able to get them to come out and help us is we have to assure them that it's residential and it's not commercial. So my big fear is if we I don't have a problem with with Gary teaching our children to ride horses. We have horses. Horses don't make noises, right? If you're gonna do the ATV and allow our children to learn to ride, I'm okay with that, but not at 10 o'clock at night. I'm definitely not okay with bonfires and some of the other flyers that you can see. I mean, it's not like and one other thing, for the safety piece, of course, I'm not down there, but when we went down last Saturday, the property is open. It is a wide open property, but I saw a pulley on a tree. I saw about 5 chairs under a tree with a barbecue grill. So it's really not, it's like an open season for events, really, to come to our neighborhood. Well, yeah, there were poles there. There was a makeshift stage. I'm assuming that's where the DJs and everyone, would perform. And then I think there's a vacant home on the property, but it's just not conducive for residential. And I mean, that's just how we feel.
Does it help that he is saying he's not going to access his property along Velma Road, but from some rear access point?
On our road, on Velma Circle, our road is only probably, if Dorothy is coming, we have to get over to let the other person come by, so absolutely. It's one way in, one way out. There's one gate, and then I'm not sure how the entrance goes around the back side of the property. There was some discussion about easements and right-of-ways with the waterworks, which the waterworks, they have an easement from us to come on our property. And Miss Smith and Miss Howard Bright has property back there as well. They've expressed their concern. One of them lives out of state. She's in Virginia, but she did present a statement about Gary. I'm not sure, I can't say, because I didn't have enough time to figure out how the properties are zoned or whatever, but I know on our easement, we have a lock, the water company has a lock. Her claim is that he's cutting her lock to come through. I can't verify that. I'm just going by what she said in her statement.
Yeah. But he did say that they would not use Velma Circle.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. But it does back up to, I mean, we're like our property line, and then the festivities are right there behind the trees. There's nothing to block the noise.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And I'm gonna ask y'all not to be repetitious, okay?
My name is Mrs. Smith.
And Ms. Smith, you're gonna need to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta speak and pull that down to you a little bit.
And I'm on the back side, and the road that's being used goes through private property, and I'm not with them. I'm not with the traffic going across our property. I and Mrs. Bray, she wrote a letter saying that she didn't authorize it either. So there are gates separating each piece of property, and all of the owners have locks to them. But the gates get unlocked when these activities are going on. Now, there is an easement, but it's a water easement, and I did call to reaffirm with the water company, it is not a public easement. It's not paved or anything. It's for, the water company to come and take care of their equipment and so forth. So I've never authorized traffic, and I'm not with the traffic going across.
So his access he's referring to would be coming through a portion of your property.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm the back
you're
part.
saying he would not have permission from you to do that.
Right.
And maybe he's intending to use a water easement or sanitary sewer easement. It is not for access, it's for the It's for water and sewer.
Right.
Got it.
And I do have a letter from Mrs. Bray.
You can ask them, yeah. Yes, ma'am, go ahead, Ms. Smith.
No, I was just saying, and I do have a letter from Mrs. Bray, but it's on my phone, that she texts, that she does not authorize permission to use access.
Yes, ma'am, okay, thank you. I'm gonna ask y'all a question in a moment, after she finishes.
I'm done.
What about the other lady?
Yes. Good evening. My name is Dorothy Richards, and I'm not going to go back to how far back this has gone, and I have been trying to get this under control for a long time. And it's not just it's the traffic. If he's doing something for the kids and he's going to get a grant, I have no problem with that. But the hours is not what kids should be out. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. You can hear the cars, even though they enter through that back way, but sometime when they leave out, they come past my house. And where my bedroom sits, I can hear every car. And I can hear the music. I can even turn the TV up and still hear the music. But if he want to run a business, that's a residential. It's not a business district.
Yes, ma'am. I think Mr. Holmes got a question that one or both of y'all may ask.
Okay.
So is there any way that you would agree to this? Are you totally against it if, let's just say, we cut off the music at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Would you be acceptable to that?
Well, we discussed it as neighbors, and you all presented last week, not last, when we was here the last time, saying like 10 to 6.
I know, but I'm moving.
10 to
I'm
6.
moving in a different direction.
Okay.
So if the music quit at 7 and they had to be gone by 8, are you okay with that? So you don't.
I'm not, because, I mean, you know, it's.
So you're not willing to budge on any of this.
Because we're going to open it up to so
But I
much
thought you were
more.
okay with him teaching kids.
The children, yes, but the.
But we can't limit it to 16-year-olds. I mean.
No, okay, so let me go back and clarify. I'm okay with him doing things that are productive, and if I don't have to hear the music, you know, I can't speak for my neighbors, but here's the thing, we've been dealing with this for a long time, and it's like give an inch, take a mile type thing. So we let it go, and then it fades away, then it comes back.
But if we were to allow it and he broke the rules, then he would have to come back before the board, and then we could just say you can't do it. So I mean, there are some ramifications if he doesn't follow through with anything. But if you're in Montgomery, I can play loud music next door to you, and you can hear my music. So I don't know that that's really, not that we all want that, but if people are playing music until 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock at night, that's perfectly legal. But,
at a certain decibel, yes.
Right. So what I'm saying is I don't want it just because the music to stop him from doing.
Well,
because it sounds like there is some good with what he is doing.
Absolutely.
But there's some bad too, and we're trying to reduce that.
There you go. So when you got the bonfires going out there, sir, let's go back to everything.
We can limit that, no fires, unless it's approved by the
events, rentals. And so if he's renting the property out to other people, are they going to follow the same rules?
But he owns the property. If I own property, I can rent it. I can rent my property to somebody else.
Well, we checked the property tax assessor, J&J, what's it called, J&J Properties.
Okay.
Now, he may be leasing it.
He could be subleasing it from them.
That's right.
I mean, he could be leasing it from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, just to be clear, if we were to, no fires unless they're approved by the fire department, limit the music to 7 o'clock, they have to be gone by 8, would you be acceptable to that?
I don't want to speak for my neighbors, but for me, no.
Say no.
Okay. Y'all aren't really bending very much here, so, I mean, we could go the other way and allow him to be there at 10 o'clock. I'm just trying to come up with a compromise here.
But let me say this, I've never seen kids, I've only seen adults.
Well, you just saw a young man right behind you, he came and spoke.
But that's one. But I'm saying, me being on the presence and coming out my door and looking, I don't see children. I don't see young adults. I see mature adults partying. They be partying. They don't be riding. They ride up to a certain point, And then you can also hear them all through the night. Sometimes they get to the point, they'll come down the main road and realize they can't get in that way.
But people can ride four-wheelers on their land all day long if they want. They can ride them at 8 or 9 o'clock at night if they want. If they have that right. So I'm just trying to, I understand your concerns, but I'm just trying to find some middle ground here. But it doesn't sound like I've found any. So I guess.
Sound like access could be a problem
Yeah,
anyway.
so I guess
Sound like.
we'll just talk back to him.
All right, if anyone else got anything new to say? Anything different? Are you okay? All right, we'll hear one more person and then we'll go back to the petitioner and give him the opportunity.
Hi, I was here last week too.
One more person. Okay, I'm going to give you just a few minutes. Go ahead, ma'am. You need to introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Donna Nelson, and I do own property on Velma Circle. My concern is the same as has been voiced. However, it's a new concern with the road, this access road, and the owners of that access road. They're saying no, they don't want it. So I don't understand why we're still having or trying to open up opportunities for this to
Because he could go down Velma Road if he wanted to.
Excuse me?
He could still go down Velma Road if he wanted to.
Oh, so you're willing to allow?
I didn't say
No.
that. I'm just saying
It's
whether
public.
they're going to allow him to do that access, it really doesn't. He can't legally do that. So, well, I'm not talking about that. So,
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right, well, as long as we're really clear that the owners of that access road, which is one of his solutions, that's really not a viable solution.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Charles Brooks, and I've been dealing with this area since Bobby Bright. I didn't call Bobby Bright at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. My mother property runs up against his fence line. I'm tired of it. Since Bobby Bright, many phone calls to 911. And y'all sitting up here acting like, oh, what is this? These is people in the community. How many, my mama's 76 years old. How many of y'all want y'all mama listening to that from 10 to 10, maybe to 12?
Okay.
Since Bobby Bright.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Okay. Would you like to come back up here, Mr. Oliver, and address these concerns? And then we'll...
First of all, I'm on private property, and I got my signs up, and when they keep calling the police can tell them I'm on private property. I can do what I want to do on my own property. That back ease, I'm just trying to make it easy for them and make it so it won't be no problem for me using that front road. The back is flood. That whole back road is a flood zone. It's nothing back there. They don't have no water, no power, no building, and I cut the grass. I bought the first entrance. The lot is 21 acres. I bought that. That's the way to my property, and I own the last lot. So they are in between my property. So I got that. Lucius Jackson at Waterworks said I got the right to come through there and use, and I can call him and he'll open the gates when I have a big event. I have a big event. It's family friendly. It's not just kids. I have kids most of the time in the daytime. I have adults. I mean, we got adults that ride four-wheelers just as much as kids. We have bonfires. We have bonfires during deer season mostly in the wintertime because the deer hunters are on the other fields that we ride at. So they come down to my place. I get a burn permit every time because she calls the fire department every time I have one. So that eliminates all that. But they come back and tell me every time I go down there, I get a burn permit every single time. I haven't had any problem with the police department. I have never had an accident. I never had a shooting or killing or anything. And when they come down, they just have a good time and go home. It's not just for kids. It's for everybody.
Can I ask a question? How big a piece of property is this?
It's in 3 sections and it's up to 100 and something acres.
100 and something acres.
100 acres.
It's 100 and something acres. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a question. Tell me how that back access works. Whose property is it? I think you said somebody's name, but
Okay,
talk in the mic, please.
the waterworks built the property, and it comes to my property because I got the water septic on my property where they pump the water, whatever. And they come through to check that place, probably once or twice a month. So I use that to keep down confusion with the traffic and make it easier on them. And I think that was the best decision to do, but they don't want me to use that or my main road. It's like they don't even want me to go to my own house. And they don't want me to have friends come to my house. But their relatives and friends got four-wheelers and golf carts, and they ride up and down the street, and it's all right. But it's not right when my friends come. But when I have an event, I lock that gate. The front gate is locked because I let their kids and their grandkids come down there and call me from the gate, and I let them in from the front gate on Velma Circle. But I don't let nobody else come on but my neighbor. And it's only like 7 of us down there, so it's not residential. It's an agriculture. It's for cattle, horses, and farming.
All right, who owns this property?
Me.
Who's Bonnie Caldwell?
That's the lady that I bought. That's the guy I purchased it from. I redeemed it from. I got all my paperwork. I got my deeds, everything right here.
So you own it?
Yes, sir.
Free and clear?
Huh?
Free and clear, you own the property, you're the only owner?
Yeah, I'm still paying on some of it, but most of it I already paid it off.
Would you buy it in a tax sale or something, or?
I redeemed it from her, from a tax sale.
And the access in the back is through the waterworks property. Is that what you said?
No,
it's an easement.
See,
It's
the
an easement.
The waterworks, they was complaining about the waterworks coming working on the pumps a long time ago. So they cut a road on my property on the front side through Velma Circle so they could bring the heavy equipment. They complaining about that. So they came up with the decision to cut it so they wouldn't have no problem with them on that. So when they cut the back road and came through there, so why not me use that road also? Because then I kept their equipment down there. So why not me use that road to keep down problems when they kept down problems with the waterworks? I mean, that makes sense.
Okay, so the waterworks has a road on your property?
Yes, sir, to my property.
Okay.
And then I bought the first, when you turn in off of the Old Haven Road to go to that back way, I just purchased that property from J&J Johnson. That's what she took on. That's the property I just purchased. And then that's the front, that's 21 acres. And then you go through 3 other properties, but I'm not running off the road. They don't come down there and take care of it. I cut the grass for them. I clean it and I cut it. And the waterworks said they got a right from their road to like 2, maybe 5 acres on feet or so much away that they still own. So they told me he was like, it's more fine for the user because you're really not on their property. Because by right, that's their property. And Lewis Jackson gave me permission. He said, Lucius told me I could use it.
He gave you permission, but he didn't give you an easement.
No,
You're using an easement that currently serves either water or sewer.
He works for the waterworks.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I know who they are.
Yeah, he comes.
But a water easement, a sewer easement that's what it is. It's not intended for public access or any access.
I mean,
okay?
but all I'm doing
They
is
could, let me finish. They could terminate that at any time.
Yes, sir.
They could stop that. If one of those vehicles that is using it damages a sewer line or a water line, they could stop that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a business license for this?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yeah. I got my LLCs and my nonprofit.
So that's how you're able to charge for your
Well,
events?
I think the question was he didn't get a business license. He has to get, he has to get this approved
You got to get this approved.
to get a business
Right.
license.
Yeah.
You have to have this approved to get your business license, is that the case?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get my business license to further my career. And
You've heard the question about hours of operation. Are you willing to And I'm not saying this is gonna be acceptable to this board, but are you willing to reduce that time
Yeah, I'm willing to shut it down at 10.
to,
Well, how about 7?
Because we start a bonfire at 6 o'clock.
Well, we're not gonna allow bonfires unless it's approved by the fire department.
I mean, I do get them approved. Every time they come out and approve. I'm way back in the wood. They can't see what I'm doing because I got a private fence up. And if they see what I'm doing, they got to walk to my gate to see. And when she talking about the people that's coming down that road at 12:01, I'm out of there way before 12. So the security guard's gone on the corner. That's why people are.
All right, let's just cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase, because I don't know how everybody's gonna vote up here, but would you be willing to accept 7 o'clock, stop the music?
And can I take at least a 9?
I mean, you can say what you want, but I don't know who's gonna vote for it, so that's just up to you. I'm just trying to come up with a medium ground for everybody.
According to these flyers, it says the music's going from 7 to 11.
Right.
Are you having an event right now?
Sorry?
Are you having an event today?
No, a couple of guys from CRX, from the railroad,
So-
they down there around.
And what it appears to me is obviously you're trying to run a business. It's this Thursday ain't about the kids.
No,
All right?
that's a couple of my homeboys that work for the
Well,
railroad.
that ain't about the kids, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not always about the kids.
let him finish, okay, or we're gonna stop this real quick.
So, if you're not, you
Go
need
ahead.
5 votes, okay? But if you're not willing to even consider stopping the music at 7 o'clock, I probably can't vote for it. So so you need to think about that
And
real quick, and then we're going.
And then out of there by a certain time.
Yeah, and then be gone by 8 o'clock.
No,
Okay,
And
that's all we need to know then.
Okay. What you're agreeing to
I
is
mean-
shutting
Go ahead.
down at 10 and being out of there by 11 is what you're saying.
No, yes, sir.
Okay. That's what you want, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about no use of the property on Sundays, on Lord's Day?
Sunday, that's the only day I have to write myself.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, Sunday is the only day I have to write because I work.
Okay.
I work
All right.
3 jobs.
Just asking the question. Okay. All right. Any other questions, board members? All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how long have you been operating at this location? I might have missed it. I came in late. I'm sorry.
About 2 years.
About 2 years.
About 2 years?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
four-wheeler park.
Okay. Got it. I gotta have a motion. I can't make it. All right. Well,
This is operating.
Chair, entertain a motion.
Business.
You can put your conditions on it if you want to. It's still an issue.
Yeah.
You could, yeah. Whatever you want to do. Huh? PJ, so PJ. Yeah.
Barry had a question.
Barry, you got a question?
Yeah. I guess it's you, sir. You saying that it's a total of approximately right at 100 acres, correct? And approximately, I guess, how far are you guys back in the woods from your neighbors?
I'll say about close to about at least a half a mile or something.
Right.
I'm way out from anybody.
That's hard to vote against.
And we ride in the woods, so I ride along that creek bank. So most of the noise going towards that creek, and I ride closer to Old 7 Road. So I'm like along, like almost a mile. I have to.
I guess what I'm getting at, is it possible to push your limits further away from your neighbors as far as where you guys ride and I guess for noise purposes?
Well, the problem with the music.
Well, I can play music at my house right now. They gonna complain about that regardless how I see it.
And I understand what they're saying. I apologize to them, and I told them it wouldn't be no more. But the four-wheelers, we way out in the woods. I mean, they unload up front, so you're gonna hear the pipes when they unload.
Correct.
But I'm on private property, so you know. And then it's a public road. They don't go down that road, and then we ride off into the woods. So really, I can't even hear it once they're in the woods at my own property. So I know they can't do it.
So staging is possibly, I guess, maybe what, a football field away from your neighbors, or is it further than that?
I'm further than that.
Further than that.
Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver. So I guess what most of us are stuck at is we want to try to support the community concerns, but at the same time, we want to try to find that medium. Like, do you think shutting down at 9 o'clock and then having cleared out by 10, you think that'll work?
Shutting the music down about 9?
By 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a while to get the people out there. I would shut it down at 9, but it's a lot of people.
Right.
But I only have it like maybe once or twice a month. So,
Yeah, if you make that motion. Unless it's denied.
if I can get them out of there, it's gonna take me at least 30 minutes to an hour to get them out.
May I say something?
Right, so
You know, I mean,
Okay.
But
we
you
need to
think
come
just
up
shutting it down
with
at 9
something,
o'clock and
but
then clearing out by
if-
10, you think that's possible?
Probably get them out of there between 10 and
Okay.
I don't want to say.
And come back with a new application. That's
Because
what
I know they're gonna be right up there.
Right.
So, I want to make sure I'm in the right.
You can make a motion to delay it and tell them to take all these things into consideration.
Okay.
And come back with a plan. Okay.
I'll do that.
well, yeah, I still have a question, but that's okay.
All right.
All right, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, I'll make a motion since the floor is still.
And listen to this carefully, okay?
All right, I'll make a motion that we delay this to the next meeting. But in delaying this, I want you to take into consideration what I'm going to tell you, okay? This is where I would like to see you agree to, and I think your neighbors may be more willing to accept you if you agree to these things. They don't have to, but this is just what I suggest. So my suggestion is you don't have alcohol out there. Let me finish, okay? And if you don't like what I say, you don't have to come back. All right? You don't have to. And then you can't do it at all. So my suggestion is no alcohol. The music stops at 7. You're out of there by 8. And you can only have a bonfire if it's approved by the fire department. And you'll have 2 police officers there controlling traffic at all times. That's my suggestion, okay? But the motion is to delay to the next meeting, and he's going to take those items into consideration.
And we want clarification on access.
And come back with a proposal, a written proposal.
A new application.
A new application, a written proposal of what you want to do out there. But I'm just telling you, I can't vote for anything like this because there's too much concern with the neighbors, okay?
But access is real important here, okay?
Something in writing from
So you
Waterworks
either
would
need
be
a
helpful.
permanent easement from the waterworks, or permanent easement from your neighbors giving you access to cross their property, okay? But you need to come up with a plan that...
So what if I just start using Velma Circle?
If you have 2 police officers there, and they're willing to control traffic, and you're out of there by 8 o'clock, you know, it's something we can consider, okay? Just, you need to make a new proposal and come back with some of these items that I've made suggestions on, okay?
All right, you've made a motion to delay. We have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of delay, please raise your hand.
I'm abstaining.
Abstain? Quentin? Okay. What was that? 6? 6 abstain?
No.
Excuse me, 1 abstain and 6 for delay. All right. I don't know. All right, item number 2 has been delayed. Item 3.
Were you good with the suggestions? The suggestions I made?
All right, guys, y'all ready? Item 3 is presented by Grace Mehm, requesting a side yard and a rear yard variance for a new accessory structure to be located at 3313 Vermont Drive in an R65 zoning district. You, Mr. Mehm?
Yes, I'm,
okay.
Sorry. I am Jaron, husband of Grace. Basically what it is that, so we moved into this property about three and a half years ago. If you look at the northeast corner of that map, basically what it is that there was a pre-existing concrete slab there that exists within the 5-foot boundary of the property line. Based on just here to get permission to use that. There is a shed built on top of that concrete slab, and it's getting rusty and really torn off. We just want
So
to
you're just replacing what was there on the same slab?
Yes.
Got it. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
Second.
Mr. Reeves?
Forest Hills Neighborhood Association has no problems with this.
Great, thank you.
All right, Mr. Reeves.
All right. Have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Second. Is that Mr. Roberts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Blake?
No,
I was second also.
All right,
he was second.
All right. All right, you had a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. You good? Item number 4, presented by Montgomery Christian School, requesting a rear yard and a side yard variances for a new mobile home classroom to be located at 3265 McGehee Road in an R85 zoning district. Mr. Romanowski.
Mr. Stanley, my name is Todd Romanowski, and I represent Montgomery Christian School as their board chair. We're requesting a variance to allow us to have a modular classroom placed on the playground for additional classroom space for the school year of 24-25. We have completely outgrown our space, currently under contract for another campus, but this modular classroom will help us for the calendar year, or the school year 24-25.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Move that we grant Mr. Romanowski's request for a rear yard and side yard variance.
Motion from Mr. Reese to have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Markham. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Call. All right. Huh? Flip through that. Item number 5 is presented by Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, requesting a rear yard variance for a sign to be located at 1641 Windsor Hill Court in an O1Q zoning district. Mr. Bostic?
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Bostic with Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering. 1641 Windsor Hill Court is currently under construction and will house a new pediatric dental office. The property to the north is Phoenix Physical Therapy, whose sign is 1.5 feet off Perry Hill Road. If we are forced to keep our sign at 20 feet off the right-of-way, the Phoenix sign will block it from oncoming traffic at the Perry Hill Road and Carmichael Road intersection. So we are requesting the same 1.5-foot offset off the Perry Hill right-of-way for proper visibility. This will put our sign about 25 feet from the nearest travel lane.
Chris, is this sign comparable in size to the other sign?
Yes, sir.
And it's low profile?
It is, our intent is to have one that's similar to that sign in size. It'll be lit from the ground. It will be the same materials as the building. We have not finished the design yet because of this issue.
But the height will be similar to the other sign?
Yes, sir.
The setback will be the same?
Yes, sir. It would be
Right.
1.5 feet off the...
And the face of it'll be a double-sided sign sitting perpendicular to Perry Hill Road?
Yes, sir.
Or parallel?
If you'll go to those exhibits I brought, if you could go to number 2 real quick, then you'll, or actually number 3, you have the ones that I said, Tanya? Okay, she didn't get a big. I had a image of the one.
It's perpendicular?
Yes, it's perpendicular so you can see it. Yes.
Got it. Double-sided?
Yes, sir.
Ground lit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and it's only for the use of the occupant of the building, correct?
Yes, sir.
No other use?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve, Mr. Markham. Have a second?
Second.
Second. Mr. Howell. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Andrea, be sure that those minutes do specify that the use of the sign is for the occupant of the building only. Item 6 is presented by Augustine Carball, requesting a special exception for a mobile home for living purposes to be located on the northwest corner of L.H. Hamilton Road and W.D. Harris Road in a flood zoning district. You Mr. Carball?
He is. That's my uncle right here, Augustine Carball.
Okay. And so is this for you?
Him.
Is this sign, who's the mobile home for?
My uncle.
Okay. All right. And I believe there's already another existing mobile home on the lot? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is he gonna live in it?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, are you gonna rent it out? You're not gonna rent it, you're gonna use it?
No. One is for his father and one is for him.
Excuse me?
One mobile home is for his father and the other one is for him to live in.
I got you. Okay. Any questions, board members? Who owns this property? Who owns it?
He does.
He owns the property. Okay. Tax records indicate a Mr. William Griffin Brown is the owner. That may not be, but you, sir, you say you own the property. Is that correct?
Yes, he does.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
I've seen you with different engineers and surveyors. I've seen Mr. Coverall's deed. We just recently did on-site design for him, and I had to verify ownership.
So he does own it?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. All right. Any other questions? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Howell makes a motion to approve. Have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reese. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Remember, it's not for rental purposes, okay? Item 7 is presented by Ready Mix USA. requesting a special exception for a portable concrete plant to be located at 1241 West Boulevard in an M3 zoning district. Yes, sir. State your name and
My name is Donald Sparks. I'm with Ready Mix USA. I live in Birmingham, Alabama. We are wanting to put in a mobile plant to start servicing a lot of the customers we have are in the west area now. They're calling for concrete all the time, and we're having to travel from over off of Northern Boulevard across town, which impedes traffic. It also, harder on the roads. So we want to get a little closer because we have a perishable product. We're trying to help our customers get a little fresher concrete, and we're getting calls more and more for that area. So we're looking to lease the property from W.H. Newell and put in this portable concrete plant to help us, take care of that area, provide more jobs for the area.
So you don't know how long it'll be necessary to have it there, but you're leasing it from...
We'll be there as long as there's business there. If there's business there, we could be there forever. It just depends on how long,
But you're leasing it from Newell?
From Newell, yes.
Got it. Okay. Any question, board members? Anyone care in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Move that we grant request Ready Mix USA for the special exception. Set up a concrete
Motion
plant.
from Mr. Reese. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Robinson. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Item number 8 is presented by Cheryl Harvey, requesting a front yard, side yard, and a separation between structures for an accessory structure to be located in the required front yard at 620 Karen Road in an R75S zoning district. Ms. Harvey?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here because I'm a current homeowner at 620 Karen Road.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been a homeowner 3 years. And due to the fact that I have a job where I leave home 4 o'clock in the morning, and due to inclement weather, I had a structural carport installed there. I wasn't there when the workers came and installed the carport, so therefore I was not familiar with the requirements of having that carport there on that property. And then this is the second time I've been a homeowner. I've had a carport before, but I never had any issues before, so this is the first time I've ever encountered.
So the carport is there now?
Yes, sir.
How long has it been there?
I think it was installed in December.
Excuse me?
December of 23.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you not know to get permission to do it at that time?
No, sir. I was not aware.
Okay. Your contractor obviously didn't tell you, did they?
No, sir. I purchased it from a company in Wetumpka, and it was never discussed. They just asked where I wanted located on the property. I told them front of the yard, front driveway.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Anything else?
I'm just...
Okay. Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
Let me just add, are there any other, any of your neighbors have carports?
Some have theirs attached on the side property.
They're attached to the house?
Yes, sir.
And yours is not? Yours is separate?
That's correct.
Right. Mr. Cruz?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Reeves, I'm sorry.
Cruz Reeves, representing Forest Hills Neighborhood Association. We are opposed to this. This is a metal structure, as stated in front of the house on the driveway. It's a double wide driveway, and this structure covers the whole width of the driveway. It takes away from the neighborhood. Nobody else has one like that. It's setting a terrible precedence. Since this is an older neighborhood and we don't have covenants, we have to rely on codes and ordinances and Board of Adjustments. But in her paperwork, she said she had it there to park because of snow and ice. She didn't want to have to clean that off her car. This is Montgomery, Alabama. We don't worry about snow and ice here, but on very rare occasions. But, and we're finding that more and more people are asking for forgiveness rather than permission to do things. And this is bad also. But our association is definitely against this.
Mr. Reeves, are there other carports in the neighborhood?
As she stated, attached to the houses, yes.
So there are, so if this was attached to the house, you wouldn't have any complaints about it?
If it was part of the house, this is a metal structure out front on the driveway. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Very unsightly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question for the petitioner.
Ma'am,
So, ma'am, is there any way that this could be attached to your house? Could you move it and attach it to the house?
The way it's built, it has an oval shape structure to it.
Can you talk into the mic, please, ma'am?
Yes. The way the carport is designed, it has an oval shape to it and not just a flat line carport.
Okay. Would you be willing to have it redesigned and attached to the house?
If it can be done, yes.
Okay.
But the exception would be I have a privacy fence there, and I don't use too much of my backyard, and leaving home 4 o'clock in the morning, that would impose problems for me as well. And also, I've been a neighbor in that neighborhood for 3 years. I don't have any contact with my neighbors. I have no association with them. I had no idea that this would impose a problem to the residents in that neighborhood. And if I'm not mistaken, when I signed my paperwork to become a homeowner, I don't remember it saying that I had to be governed by a neighborhood association in that area.
Correct. Right. Okay. All right, any other question, board members? Anyone else in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
I want to make a motion to deny because it's not in keeping with the neighborhood character. And
okay,
that's it.
Okay. Motion to deny is not in keeping with the character of the neighborhood. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Reese. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Ma'am, it was denied because the structure itself is really in front of your house, okay? You need to look at a way to get your contractor to relocate it so that it's attached to the side of your house like the others are, okay? And then you can come back. If you can do that, then you can come back and we can consider a side yard variance, okay? But the zoning requires that it be at least 30 feet back from your front property line. That's the key, okay?
Can I say one thing?
And part of that motion, we need a time frame for her to remove it, a reasonable time frame to get it done, okay?
45 days?
That, whatever, yeah. 60.
Add that to your motion. Who was the motion? Add that to your motion.
60 days.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we could add 60 days. Do y'all want to vote on that?
You can just add it to your motion.
Yeah, add it to the motion.
Add to the motion.
All right, have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, good deal. Ma'am, you got 60 days to remove it.
And also, may I add,
We can't hear you. You got to speak into the.
also, may I add, the company that installed that carport is located out of Georgia, and when I contacted them, they will have to place me on the list to come back and remove the carport. And I know it's an extra burden for me to have that to be removed, considering the amount of money I paid for that carport.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm sorry, but they should have advised you that you should have gotten permission from this board to do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item number 10 is presented by Jim Massey, requesting exceptions to sections 5.5.4E, 5.5.DB, and Table 11 of the Smart Code standards for the property located at 630 South Dakota Street in a T4R urban zoning district. Mr. Massey, are you having fun?
That was a lot of numbers. My name's Jim Massey. I'm representing Massey Properties, and we are the first section 5.5, exception to allow the parking to come to the front of the property line. As you can see, that the second rendering is the way that it will actually look, or close to that, which the entrance door and the exit door will be up towards the front of the building, up towards Decatur Street. And if you've been in an ABC store, you know they have one entrance, and I know none of y'all have, but in case, and then they have one exit, and they're totally separate, and they want one door for each, apart.
Okay.
The section 5.5 exception to not to provide a street screen is security with the neighborhood, with McGruff, the dog always talks about don't hide behind the don't leave your hedges up, don't leave anything where the bad guys can hide behind it. But not only that, but we don't want anyone loitering and drinking in the parking lot. And so we're proposing, we're still putting the shrubs, they're just going to be a lower screen. Just not, we don't want them to cover anyone.
How high would that lower screen be? 3 or 4 feet? 3 feet?
3 to 4 foot is the shrubbery that we're going to spec.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay.
Is this next to the existing ABC store?
I'm sorry?
Is this next to the existing ABC store?
Yeah, it is. And 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
It is close. And that's table, let's see, exception to allow a retail store in mid-block where they are only allowed on corner locations. And it is next to the existing ABC store, which is not on a corner, it's mid-block. And where our building is, the white roof on the north side, it's truly 1.5 inches between my building and the current ABC building.
All right. Any question, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Okay, I believe you agreed to go with a landscape screen across the front to be what? No less than. What would be the minimum height?
What we've got it set up is the width, minimum 8 foot. There's a little skew there that is similar to traditional 8-foot landscape squash.
But what's the height of the screen?
We can stipulate it to be the 3 to 4 foot.
Okay.
Usually 5 foot.
Got it. Okay. That's what we're looking for.
Tell Big Red to get me
All right.
drawing to me tomorrow.
You got to have some landscaping out there. All right. All right, any questions? Everybody understand? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve as presented and discussed.
Second.
Motion to approve and second. And to clarify, that landscaping hedge we're talking about will be no less than 3 feet and no taller than 4.
3, right.
Is that okay?
That's good.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Excuse me?
Was the parking to the south property line?
I'm sorry, I
We
can't.
talked about the parking. Some other parking.
Was the parking going to the south property line, was that addressed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's part of your development plan, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
Parking up to the property line?
No, actually, other than the entrance, we have an 8 by 20 foot swatch on both sides of the entrance.
8-foot landscape?
Yes.
Oh, okay, across the front, or all the way down the front and the sides? Just the front only?
Just the front. The building part.
It's side.
The southeast corner of the building is actually the southeast corner of the property section.
Yeah.
I have some better pictures.
Well, but you're gonna have an 8-foot landscape strip across the front property line, is that right?
8 foot deep from right away to where we get the parking will be
Okay.
landscaping on both sides.
So the parking will come up to that's on South Decatur Street. Does that answer your question? Okay. All right, we got it? Everybody got it? That's on South Decatur Street side. Right, okay. All right. All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Okay. I got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 11, presented by Shalonda Sanders, requesting a special exception for a mobile home for living purposes to be located on the east side of Motley Drive, approximately 600 feet south of Wetumpka Highway and an Ag 2 zoning district. Ms. Sanders?
Okay.
Hello. All right, so you want to place a mobile home for living purposes on a 1.3 acre tract of land, correct?
Yes.
And are you going to rent it or are you
No.
going to occupy it?
We're going to live in it.
You're going to live in it, okay? About how far back from Motley Drive will it be located?
I guess, I don't know.
About,
But it's not going to be up
Yeah.
towards the street.
right, we don't want it on the street.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, so
halfway back?
we don't have it about halfway back in the lot, is that
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any question, board members? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Anybody here opposed or anyone care to address this item? All right. Have a motion to approve for Mr. Markham. You have a second? Second. Mr. Burke? All in favor, say aye, or raise your hand. Motion carries.
No.
Okay. Be sure to set it back about halfway into the lot there now, okay?
Okay.
Item 12 is presented by McGehee Construction, requesting a rear yard, presented by Kayla Brown, requesting a rear yard variance for an addition to the dwelling located at 3800 Royal Crest Mews in an R75S district. You, Ms. Brown?
Yes, I'm actually the homeowner.
Okay. And you want this addition to come within 10 feet of the rear property line?
Yes, it's considered the rear, but it's actually, my front door faces Dalrado Road, so it's actually going to be on the side of my house, but it's considered the rear.
Okay, so it's not on the Dalrado Road side, it's not on the Royal Crest Mews side, it's on the opposite side, correct?
Well, it's, so my front door faces Dalrado Road,
Okay,
and so the garage, when facing the front door off of Dalrado Road, will be to the right of the house.
okay.
So you come in off Dorado Road to enter into the garage?
Yes.
Is this for a garage? Is this what this is for?
Yes,
Not living quarters, but garage?
just a garage, yes,
Okay.
not a living quarters.
Got
no.
it, okay, all right. All right, any questions? Anyone care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Mr. Holmes, have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Burke. Any questions? All in favor, raise your hand. Good luck.
Thank you.
Item 13, presented by Yandana Rivera, requesting a rear yard, side yard, and coverage variances for a detached accessory structure to be located 423 Conrad Street in an R65D zoning district. Mr. Rivera.
How's it going? My name is Yandel Rivera, and I am the homeowner.
All right, what you gonna put in this thing?
It's a two-car garage.
Two-car garage?
Yes, sir.
How do you get to it?
Sorry, repeat that?
How do you access it?
There's a driveway on my left side, so it's just going straight through the driveway. Yes, sir.
It's a large garage.
The dimensions they put was only one side, so it really is like offset. One side is longer than the other. One side is 18 and the other side is 28. But that's only because the land is really sideways.
Well, you're 1 foot 6 inches from the rear property line, you're 2 feet from the side property line.
I put it a little like closer to not have like, not the property, I'm just saying that when I wrote it down there, I put smaller
Well, the smaller is not necessarily the best for us.
No, I
because-
know.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
Because you got water coming off that structure. Okay? Where's that water going? Is it going to stay on your property, or is it going to go off the adjacent?
It goes back.
Goes back where?
To the other land
So-
behind you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're mighty close. You're just off the property line. Is it going to have a pitched roof?
Yes, sir, it is.
What's behind you?
Like a little canal, I guess, a little water.
Is it a vacant lot?
Yes, sir.
But it
But
could be.
that's even farther back. The middle there, it's like 5 feet of a ditch, like a drain, canal,
mighty
something like that,
close.
like 5 feet wide.
That's mighty close to the property line. You're going to, likely, you're going to be spilling water onto your adjacent property owner.
Sorry, what?
It's very likely that water coming from your structure is going to be spilling off onto the adjacent property owner over here. Okay?
Are you against reducing the size of the structure?
Like I could make it 18, but because the house is, like it's super slanted, it was designed like that where it can go with the curve of, the parking, because I have no parking in the front. It's just a straight driveway. So it was designed with a curve. That's why one side is 18, the other side is 19, for it can be perfectly straight when you drive back to your back, to the backyard.
Yeah.
Can you move it closer to the other side of the yard a little bit? So it's not so close to your neighbor on both sides? Obviously, the further you move it this way, the further off the property line you come.
Now, I only put 2 feet there, but to be honest, I can walk my body size through the whole side. And that's with my fence falling. It's an old
Well,
fence.
I know,
It's
but
also
I'm asking you,
falling.
can you bring it towards the other side of the yard a little bit?
It has concrete, like, structure.
Well, how do you get in it though, if you gotta go?
Because
through this
it's perfectly straight. The first parking lot, all the way to the right, is perfectly aligned with my driveway.
So where will you enter this garage? From where?
From like the straight into,
From there or the other side?
yes, just straight.
So
Like
down
you
the
go from
right
the street,
side?
you turn left, and you go straight into the parking lot.
So down the right side of your house is where you enter?
Yes, sir. Left side is the entrance for the driveway. I have pictures if you'd like to see that.
Yeah,
as
let
well.
us see it.
All the way around.
Let us see it real quick.
Can I show you pictures?
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
was there an existing structure already in that place?
There was a shed,
A shed there?
pretty big shed.
So the slab is already in place?
It was slightly modified, but yes. Because it was, the shed that I had on there was like a perfectly even shed. And this one is slanted, so it was modified for it can,
You're saying the slab was already there?
the, like, mobile shed, like my neighbor has. You see how they have like those,
Yeah.
You had a storage shed, you're saying?
yeah, it was like 12 by 12.
And it was on a pad, you're saying, or it was on blocks?
Did I hear you say you could reduce the size of it some?
I can make it 18 by 18.
Okay.
Like I can make both sides even, and that will.
That's what.
And you're saying that when you enter into your garage, this detached garage, you were entered from your driveway that's on the right side of your home, and you would drive straight to the back.
Just straight, no turning, no nothing. You go straight to get to the first, the one closer to the fence. And then to the second garage, you do have to turn a little bit. That's why it was somewhat close to go perfectly with the driveway.
And that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be too tight to pretty much get a second car in there to turn into that garage based on the size of your backyard, correct?
I can show you pictures if it helps.
Well, I'm looking at it on Google Maps.
Yeah.
If it went more away from the fence, then cars will have an issue with my house.
Well, we've got some questions here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Holmes to please give us a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to delay to the next meeting, and at the next meeting, if you would come back with kind of a plan, like a site plan, or from a company that can show what you're planning on building there, and with pictures, ground level pictures all around, so we can have a better idea of what it actually looks like.
Reduce size.
Because I have pictures with me.
And we'd like to reduce the size, maybe to 20 by 20, or 18 by 18, whatever you can live with. But we'd like a site plan from a company that's gonna actually do the work. And, yeah, so that's what we would like for you to come back with.
There's a lot of structure here in this backyard, and you're too close to the property lines, okay? So we can't approve it like it is.
And the structure will require you to gutter it as well to get rid of the water. We'll have to take the water somewhere.
So we have a motion to delay. We have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Reese. All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, to have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
So moved. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.